Hello YouTube, Edward here. I wanted to show a little trick on how to calculate formulas using values in other rows. Calculated fields are fields that do not receive a value directly from a dimension or a fact that you chose in a subject area or the business layer. They represent a value that is the result of a calculation according to a certain formula. These formulas can only use other field values in the context of the same row, as they are not aware of other rows. But there is one little trick to involve fact values from prior records too. And that is what this tip is all about. Check out this little report. From the CRM Customer Overview subject area, I chose to see for each of the past years the closed opportunity revenue and the number of closed opportunities. Normally, when I add a calculated field, it allows me to make a calculation by using the fields in the same record. For instance, I can divide the sum of the closed opportunity revenue value by the number of closed opportunities, which should give me the average deal size. There we go. So the problem is I don't have a real way to calculate something using a value from a different row, unless you use the following trick. Let's start over again with almost the same report. From the same subject area, I now only use the closed opportunity revenue information for each year, and I'm going to compare it to the previous year. I'm going to use a calculated field that compares two values from two different rows. For this, I of course start with adding a calculated field. I will be using a function called MSUM. An MSUM represents the sum of the last n rows of data. In other words, I'm going to calculate the sum of the closed opportunity revenue value for the last two rows. Let's see what that looks like. Look at this, 233 million is 174 plus 58, and 136 million is 58 plus 77, and so on. On each record, I now have the sum of the last record and the current record. Next step, go back into the formula, and I will subtract the current year's value. And that should leave me with the previous year value. Look, in 2013, I now have 174, which is the previous year's closed opportunity revenue value. 58, 58, 77, 1, 77, 1. And now I can use a normal calculated field functionality to compare the difference with a nice percentage. Here we go. Go back into the formula. And I will divide the current year value by what we just calculated, which was previous year's value. I'll give a decimal number between 0 and 1, so I'm going to multiply it by 100. And now I'm going to subtract 100 so I can see a positive or negative percentage difference. There we go. Minus 66%, that's about right. Plus 31%, plus 1%. Last thing to make it really pretty is go back in. This time I'm going to change the column properties. I'm going to add some conditional formatting where I say if the percentage difference is greater than 0, add a little image. Which one shall we choose? There we go. Image to the right. So if it's greater than 0, show a blue, an up arrow. And in case my difference is less than 0, add a little red negative downwards arrow. Image to the right. Let's check it out, results. And voila.